Do you hear me?
Yes, good morning. Welcome to the video broadcast. Don't do it like Joe.
Hello.
All
I,
about,
I, I
all
am
about.
in, I am inside the screen, Joe.
Can you move a bit?
Yeah, of course I can. Is this better?
Perfect, perfect. Yes. So, welcome to our video broadcast. Don't do it like Joe. All about family, friends, football, and Forex. And today I'm very happy to welcome uh, Costantino Grasso, associate professor uh, on business and law at Manchester Metropolitan University. Hi, for friends and family, you are Costa or Mr. Grasso?
Costa, of course. Also for my students. So,
Okay, fabulous. So, Costa, thank you very much for joining. The way we met is also impressive. A person we know in common. She has a very strong positive view on you and your initiative. She was also invited once in the round table, what you're organizing. So, and she said, let's get in touch, get in touch with Costa. You have a lot to speak. Now, for our audience, I would like, instead of me reflecting what I may have collected on information, can you tell us a few words, Costa, how you got to Manchester?
Joe, first of all, let me say thank you very much for having me. It's fantastic. I'm impressed about what you're doing, and I found brilliant this kind of podcast because I was reflecting about family, friend, and finance all together in football. And I think that this is an important way to combine things. Too often we just look at our work or business or things, especially in my area, whereas I believe that these things are interconnected. So we have to look at this different dimension of life altogether. So
Yep,
so I'm very happy to be here.
thank you.
About me, this is quite a long story, so I will try to do it, cut it short for you. Basically, I'm Italian, and I'm a criminal lawyer. My background is a criminal law background, and I started working as a criminal lawyer in Italy, and I was quite brilliant in Italy. Let me say, I got an honor gone from the bar association to be ranked on the first three position about more than 1,000 lawyers for the bar exam. And I started working there. I did my PhD in criminal law, and I was looking at there. But then I understand, let me say, Joe, to cut it short, that I witnessed the first hand the pervasiveness of corruption in Italy, and I like to look at this in terms of a contributive justice, in that not only there is, the distribution of possibilities and opportunities are limited to the people that are well connected, and if you're not there, you cannot get what you should. But also in terms of that this kind of systemic corruption, in a way, thwart you, limits you to do something that you like to do if you like to contribute to the society. So I wanted to contribute to society from the beginning. My father, unfortunately, died when I was a child. He was a doctor, and I wanted to become a doctor in medicine. But then I understood I can do something for the society also as a doctor in law. But then, this kind of corruption in Italy, I understood that it was not possible. So the situation there was so blocked, let me say, systemic, that I had no chance to really contribute to the society as I wanted. So maybe, I took the easy decision. That in reality is not easy, personally speaking, but morally maybe it is. And I left, and I said I don't want to stay here anymore. I want to see and explore different ways of thinking. So I came in the United Kingdom, where also you worked, so you have also witnessed the situation here. And
Yes.
I realized the situation is different, Joe. In the UK is different. I was select as a in the prosecuting team of the serious fraud office for a big investigation on a bank. It was ICBC Standard Bank case that was the first deferred prosecution agreement, settlement agreements that we had in the United Kingdom. And so I was at this top level coming from Italy, after my PhD and my LLM, and I immediately got to this possibility. So as you can understand that in terms of contributive justice, I was immediately put in a position in the United Kingdom to contribute to the society in the right way. And the same happened afterwards. After my experience at the Serious Fraud Office, I got an academic career at the University of East London, where I started, my teaching corporate crime, corporate social responsibility, financial crime, and corporate governance, to see about, the burning issues of corporate misconduct in the society. Then I was promoted at Coventry University, and finally I accepted a promotion as a associate professor reader in business law at Manchester Metropolitan, where I will start at the end of the month. So it's a very new appointment for me.
Wow, good. Well, it's true. I worked in London as well. I loved it, actually. It's very metropolitan and very international, and you learn a lot, definitely. When I think of Manchester, my head is full of football. It's all about football when I think of Manchester and Old Trafford. It's also a big deal right now, again, you have heard probably. But now, you're not so much focused on football, you're more on business and law. And one of your flagship is a blog, which personally, it is my view, one of the best structured and most informative blog which I have visited of this kind. That's why I have displayed the address. So how did you get to this idea to get a blog set up next to
thank you so much for that, Joe. And let's say that it started like a game. I mean, I was teaching at the University of East London. It was the end of 2017. And I started receiving, I was proud of some comments of my students. I was teaching at that moment at the Master of Business Administration, the MBA. And, in the comments that the students give to you in the United Kingdom at the end of the term, they were writing things like, thank you, Costa, for opening my eyes. You let us understand the reality of the world. So what I understood, it was that even at the MBA level, they didn't know. They didn't know the reality of the corporate world, the deficiencies of the regulation, the pressure groups, lobbying, and all the stuff that is affecting our life. So I said, let's try to do something to raise, to expand this not only to my students. Even if I have 100 students, it's just 100. I would like to try to raise public awareness about the most burning issues in the corporate world. So let's try to find a way to do it. And I asked my students, and we had a meeting with the most passionate students, and they said, let's do a blog. We would like to contribute. And they said, we will do this together. And so we launched it, because I was also thinking at creating an innovative teaching platform. So where the students can contribute and can write what they think, and can help, also them to in terms of contributive justice, to try to do something. They are not passive. They are not just learning. They will interact with other students all over the world, and let's try to comment, and let's try to create a movement. It was very ambitious, and to tell you the truth, Joe, at the beginning we were very few, and I was working on that alone mostly, so it was very complicated. But then it started to attract senior colleagues' attention from people like you. I mean, they work in the industry, compliance officers, lawyers, and it was starting building a network. And nowadays we have something like 3,000 views a month, and all these views are people that are in a way related to the corporate world. So lawyers, compliance, so are select views. So I think that yes, it's improving. And also let me also say that I wanted to try to develop it as you're looking at it now, developing the content in a more enhanced way. So we had also seminars, interviews, roundtables, and so besides a platform for students, it is starting to become, as you said, also a repository of witness statements, of information about the corporate world. So this is the most, I think, important achievement right now. So I would like the blog to be a place where we can put things and they stay there so that we can look at them in 10 years, 5 years. So these are, a repository of knowledge.
Yes, it is, as the blog actually said, corporate social responsibility. That's actually which should be educated. And as you said, Costa, it is an eye-opener. It is an eye-opener, actually. And I don't think there are many people, except real professionals or have already over generation been in corporate world. But I think many people do not know the principles of the corporate, how it works. And I have actually, since I know about the blog, I'm a daily visitor.
Thank you, Joe.
And I found actually quite a lot of things what I missed, on your interviews. But tell us, Costa, since you have started this initiative, I saw you had some really high-class speakers like William Bourdon, and many others, Mary Inman as well, which I have also had in one of my broadcasts. She's a pleasure. What is your basically key learnings since you set up the blog, from your own learning and what you have learned from your keynote speakers and panelists?
Okay, yes. Let me say that I have learned so much through the blog while I was developing the content of the blog. As you have looked at the people that you mentioned that are fantastic people, and I had interview with them because we had an idea with Luca D'Ambrosio. He teaches at Sciences Po in Paris, and Don Carpenter is a colleague that is teaching at Georgetown University. And basically, we decided to start end of the year seminar series. So this will be every year, hopefully. And we interviewed these people. So I interviewed Mary Inman, William Bourdon, and so on. And I learned so much from them. Let me say that my main learnings are three, basically. The first one is that, corporation, they have a transnational nature. So we have to be transnational when we discuss about these issues. We cannot look at the corporate world within our borders and we using just our domestic legislation. It will never work. And in Switzerland, the sample of the initiative about the responsibility initiative that was launched with the referendum that didn't go through is emblematic.
Very practical.
It's emblematic of the fact that you cannot solve this issue within your country. So there is a competitive disadvantage, Joe, to do this. And, and I understand why the government and the lobbying in Switzerland, they oppose this fantastic idea of the people, because it's not practical to use it. Ideally, it was fantastic, but, so we have to start discussing and find solution at transnational level. At least, I think, at the European Union level, if not globally. The second one is that we are limited. When I started working for the blog, I understood that how much we are limited in our life in terms of resources and in terms of time. Even writing an article on the blog is time consuming. You have to think about it, and and this is something that I understood very well when I tried to change things, doing something that is additional to my ordinary work. And if you have a family, if you have your work, and this is something that I always say to my students, for example, in terms of CSR, you would like to buy biscuits without inside, I don't know, palm oil, because you think is not sustainable. But if you have to go to the supermarket, look all the biscuits around and look at the ingredients to make the selection, comparing the price, we don't have the time to do that. So this is what we understood, and this is a big lesson. So we are limited, and of course the organization exploit these limits in our life. And the third thing is there is a lot of institutional hypocrisy, Joe. So corporation, they say something and to do other things. And this is something that I think that the blog has to be used to demonstrate this level of hypocrisy, and to let them start saying things as they are, you know. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe they are smart advice by the Big Four.
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah, and it's the more or less all the organizations are like that, because of course organizations, they have their own agenda, they have their own interests, and they want to thrive and survive. The problem is that they cannot do that, you know, on the putting the weight on the shoulder of society and the environment and us. So there are some limits that they have to start understanding, that we have to that's my point, to respect. They cannot go beyond some thresholds. And unfortunately, I think the only medicine in this area will be regulation. So we have to start regulating, and in a way that when this very important threshold, of course, is passed, not everything, but when, you know, they start affecting human rights, corruption, environment, we should be very, very strong in our response.
How good do you think the power of the people? Are we getting ignored as people, or do you think we people have still a power when we unite?
You know, I like to look at the things under a criminal law perspective, and at the big, you know, in the modern criminal law, there is a reason why some crimes, like, I don't know, fraud, corruption, they were not prosecuted well, they were not sanctioned well, whereas other crimes, like, for example, you know, crimes against the property or the life, so theft, you know, where robbery, are prosecuting very harshly. Because, you know, who are the people that, you know, commit these crimes? These are poor people, you know. These are, you know, and who are the people that commit bribery, for example, or fraud? They are the member of the bourgeoisie, you know. They are the member of the high-level middle class. So there is a reason why, you know, we had a soft touch. Now this story has changed. It's not anymore like that. Now the big powers are the corporations. They have immense power. You know, more than states. I was, you know, in a lecture, I compared last week the GDP of some states like Portugal, South Africa, to the gross income of Walmart and British Petroleum, and, you know, they are richer than the states. So
incredible.
Only one. So only British Petroleum. So now imagine when the American Petroleum Association, that, you know, is an aggregate of more than 100 companies like British Petroleum, they would like to lobby. Now you understand that people's voice is not there anymore. And this is, everybody knows this. We know it. The problem is that we don't do anything to change it. We don't react. We do not. So I hope that the blog is a moment of reflection where we can look at these things.
We count on you, Costa, on that one, and on your blog. Now, really a great initiative, and every drop helps to fill you know, a bathtub. I mean, of course, it's not from today until tomorrow, but now we only have about 5 minutes left, Costa. Two questions I still have. One is, which was kind of some, like, a wake-up moment during your many interviews and panels, or what impressed you the most from one speaker? Can you say something where you said, wow?
This is a very difficult question, because I select my speakers very well, so they are all fantastic. I can answer it very quickly in two ways. The first one is the blog helped me, also my profession, helped me to have to establish contacts with fantastic people, as you said, like Mary, Jasmine Montage, me. So this is incredible. I learned so much. I'm so proud of having them within my network. The second thing is that
Sorry, Costa. Sorry, Costa. I just want to interrupt you that I don't forget. I really must confirm that you have really high-notch, top-notch candidates and quality in your panels. I was really surprised that this exists. Really, chapeau. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So yeah, let me say that maybe the last blog post, the one on institutional corruption with Professor Prem Sikka and Tax Justice Network John Christensen, they were amazing. They were amazing because these are people that spoke bluntly against the establishment and against the Big Four without, in an independent way. And they suffered, both of them, they suffered in their life because of this. John Christensen, as a whistleblower, was hosted from Jersey, the island. He was working in the finance, connecting to finance. And Prem Sikka, as a professor, was sidelined for many years. But now they are okay, and they are top-notch, as you said. And so I'm very proud of them.
Okay, I missed that one. I will review it. It's still on your blog, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's the last one. It's the very last one, the most recent
one. I saw it, but I didn't watch it yet. Okay, good. Thank you very much. That sounds exciting. Now, last question, because as we built up this small broadcast series and activities, don't do it like Joe. There was a reason behind. It was based on the philosophy of Jack Ma. He says people always talk about their successes and what they learned out of it, but actually people in general learn more from own mistakes or from other people's mistakes. Do you have in your life something you want to share with us, a success or a failure, what helped you, or as an eye-opener, for example?
What I can say is that what makes me an unhappy person is to be a free person, intellectually speaking, that I can say whatever I want and I can look at the things. But there is a price that you have to pay to become independent like this. Especially, you cannot be a strict part of an organization. You cannot have support of everybody if you want to be intellectually independent as you wish. And so I learned that exercising the right of freedom of speech is not zero cost. It's okay. We have this right, but it is, we have to pay for it. And as an academic in the UK, I have earned this right, but I paid a price, Joe. I have to leave my country. I have to leave my friends. I have to start my life here with my wife alone. We have to create a new family. We have to, create a new life. And of course, English is my second language. So it's much more efforts, as you know, to work in the social science and write and speak and lecturing in a second language than a person in the United Kingdom. So I had to face barriers that are there, but I'm happy that I paid this price because I'm now happy, and this interview is the demonstration.
Yes, and you, Costa, you feel that you have the freedom of speech. Nobody restricts you right now. You can say what you want.
Yeah, I think that it is right now like that. Yeah, okay. It's still a price that I pay because some organization, even some academic institutions, they don't like what I say for, of course, some interest. So, but I can manage. I can manage to be free.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much for making time, Costa. Thank you also for setting up this incredible good blog, Corporate Social Responsibility blog. Very proud I had you in the show, Costa. So I wish you all the best and speak another time again, hopefully.
Joe, thank you so much. It was a real pleasure, and hopefully you will contribute to the blog as a guest blogger. I will be so happy if you like to write something about it.
I will try to set up a piece one day. Yes. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Costa. Okay. Ciao, ciao.